Hindi ko na po sinabang isang slide pero lumabas na rin po yung June figures ng trust and satisfaction rating ninyo po. Isa lang pong binabantayan ko yung Pulse Asia din po, no? Dati po kasi ay 90 at 91 ang trust and satisfaction. Bahagyang gumalaw po yung trust and satisfaction ninyo. Ngayon po parehong 88, no? So within margin of error po, halos hindi po bumaba ang inyong trust and satisfaction rating. So yan po yung mga on the record, pero yung mga ibang tatanong ko po, gaya ng sinabi nyo, talagang hindi ko po maiiwasan na marami akong mga tinatanong sa inyo. Kayo na po mag-decide kung gusto nyo pong on the record or off the record. Ang unang tanong po ng media na hindi ko pa sinasagot ay magkakaroon po ng pagpupulong yung PDP laban na pinamumunuan po ng Vice Chairman Cusi at pinamumunuan niyo po bilang chairman, pero na-expel na daw po di umano si Secretary Cusi at iyong ilang mga kasama. So, ano pong asahan ng taong bayan doon sa pagpupulong ng PDP na dadaluhan ninyo sa Clark? At pangalawa po, ang inyong reaction doon po doon sa pag-amin po sa kauna-unahang pagkakataon ni Mayor Inday Sara na siya daw po ay open para tumakbo para sa pagka-presidente, at yun po yung kauna-unahang pagkakataon na siya po ay sumagot na she is open to the idea. Yan po
Open lang naman.
Opo.
Open lang. That is all there is to it. Oh. As usual, may I give a little bit of a personal comment dito sa programa to. My stand is I am against really the candidacy of my daughter. I want her spared from the vagaries of politics dito sa Pilipinas. Lalo na itong mga personalities around in the likes of Trillanes, si Lima. Walang ginawa kung hindi mag-atake ng kapwa-tao nila. So, I would rather that ibigay ang gobyerno sa kanila, let them win. I wish them luck, and even wish them win kung manalo sila para kanila na itong gobyerno at gawin nila ang gusto nilang gawin. Ako ay masasaktan ako pag siyempre anak ko. Itong bastos, itong bunganga ni Trillanes. Ewan ko kung saan niya nakuha yung katangian na yan. Pati itong si Lima, she is wallowing in pity, and as a consequence of that, she has become virulent, almost virulent talaga ang lamor pa sa bunganga. So I would rather na kung sila na lang ang patakbuhin at sila'y manalo, nagdadasal ako niyan at makita nila kung paano nila patakbuhin ang gobyerno, gaano ka hirap, tapos after all yung pagod mo, walang katapusan ang batikos because they can never be satisfied. They can no longer be appeased by anything except that they are hungry also for power. Mabutit patikman nila para makita naman natin kung paano sila mag-perform. How I wish that they would run and they will win. Magandang ano yan. Kung gusto ko, itabi ko na lang muna ang anak ko. Maybe some other time, not at this time when the Philippine politics is crowded with people in the likes of Trillanes, tapos yung si Lima. Gusto ko sila na lang muna. Run at some other time. Huwag ngayon kasi wala kang ano dito, mabastos ka lang. It's not good for a woman to be being brazen yung masyadong mga salita at masaktan lang. So as a father, I would not want that to happen to my daughter. Ako naman, yung vice president ko, pantakot lang sa kanila yan. But sabi ko, let us see. If it is good for the country, I will do it. If it does not contribute anything to our republic, then wag na lang, magsasayang na tayo ng oras, pati you contribute to the conundrum of the moment. Let us hear, mga kaibigan ko, kayong maniwala niyan, 10 billion mawala. That is the work of, I have a term for that. It is not mine. I just borrowed it. But I think Pacquiao is punch drunk. Punch drunk. And I leave it up to you. Mayroon man kayong cellphone, hanapin ninyo. I think he is. To be talking about 10 billion from nowhere. Papayag ba naman ang kuha niya? Hindi lang yan. Papayag ba kami? Papayag ba ang mga sekretary ng mga departamento na papayag na ganun na may mawala 10 billion? That is a statement coming from a guy who is punch. Suntok ba? Punch drunk. Lasing. Look it up sa ano ninyo. Makita ninyo sa cellphone ninyo. What happened during the last few days. Before proceeding, allow me to again extend our deepest condolences to the family of our soldiers and civilians who perished in the recent C-130 crash in Sulu. We shall always remember our soldiers' deep devotion to duty and willingness to risk their lives for our country and our people. We are also grateful to the local community and individuals who rushed to the crash site and tried to save as many lives as they could. Now, these people in the vicinity or in the area were mostly Tausugs. At sabi ko, salamat naman sa inyong tulong, sukran. Then we have Pastor Siki Buloy will extend 20,000 pesos cash assistance to the family of the soldiers and civilians who perished in the incident. Mr. Ivan Howe gave 5,000 pesos worth of gift certificates to the family of those who died and those who were perished. Ito si Ivan Howe is a good friend of mine. Parang not an outright really philanthropist, but is one Chinese Filipino who has a conscience, who thinks and moves and lives like a Filipino really. Health authorities around the world would have noted that the global pandemic recovery is at risk with the rise of new COVID-19 variants. The emergence of the new COVID-19 variants like Delta and Lambda are truly a cause of concern, and the government closely monitoring our borders across these strains to prevent local transmission. I let the experts talk about it. This is just an overview of everything we are going to take up. Having said that, our best defense is still to be vaccinated as soon as possible. We received more vaccines last week, including more than 1 million of AstraZeneca as donation by the government of Japan and more than 2 million doses also of AstraZeneca from the COVAX facility. This COVAX facility, I repeat, is a facility of the World Health Organization. And it is the body, it is the entity that oversees everything and see to it that everybody gets the vaccine. It has done a good job, and I would like to congratulate them and thank them for their humanity. I am pleased to know that on July 11, rather, more than 3 million Filipinos have received the second dose, and with a total of more than 13 million doses so far administered in the country. I reiterate my appeal, please get vaccinated as soon as possible. The life you will be saving is not only your own, but of your loved ones and the people around you. I also appeal to our countrymen to continue observing the health protocols so that we can prevent and avoid the spread of COVID-19. I learned that the World Bank has apologized and has taken down its recent report on the state of student learning outcomes of well-being in the Philippines. Well, I would not want to begrudge sa World Bank, but ito mga international bodies working on the problems of the world should be very careful in their statistics. It is not good to, commit a wrong internationally. But good as any, we welcome their apology, and of course, that they should, in their apology, the World Bank said that they deeply regret the said report, which advertently published even before the Department of Education had enough chance to provide inputs, and it was an oversight on their part. There was no other time na maganda ang patakbo. I am an outsider ever since. It's the only time that ito ngayon that I'm closely work with people connected with the functions of government and governance na for the longest time without, hindi sabihin na nandito si Secretary Brunes, but yung pagdala ng Department of Education was nary a worry for us. It is being supervised and organized correctly. They also acknowledge, ito yung nag-publish sa World Bank, that the education challenges in the country had a long historical context which could not and should not be attributed to any single administration. Sa totoo lang, mahirap lang talaga kasi tayo. We are third world country, classified as one. Ang mahirap sa atin is always the constraint of money. Kaya kung may pera talaga sana tayo, kung maganda lang ang ating ekonomiya and we're earning just this much, we could have improved on the governance of all departments, all facets of governance. Ang problema nito, wala masyado tayong pera. But what we have is enough to what you see now. That is the only thing that money can afford. Nakikita ninyo ngayon. Kung may pera sana ng marami, then we could have upgrade everything to compete or reach in parity with the other first class country. But we have not been able really to work on our economy. At maganda na sana yung maakyat na tayo. Hindi naman, not a cause for a celebration, but it could sometimes give us the optimism that we will and one day improve on everything. Well, anyway, we will just work on it. I hope that the next administration will be uh, more more competent than us now, more bright than us now, and more productive than us now. Hindi ako nag-ano kung may mataas pa sa akin in performance. If it is true, well, I would encourage them. I would cheer them up, and I would be on the sidelines giving inputs of what I can provide for as an advice.